All right, so this is going to be an instructional video, kind of walking you guys through a swing analysis, how I like to analyze swings, and just kind of some tips that might help this guy out. So this is Tim. He sent me these videos in on Instagram. If you're interested in getting a free swing analysis from me, you can go to Instagram, comment review under the newest video, and you'll be able to do that. But anyway, this is a video he sent in. He was struggling with over the top, pulls, hooks, slices, all that, right? So, and I can definitely see what's happening here. So if we first just want to take a look at his alignment and setup. So the alignment is not bad. Maybe his toes are a little bit closed. The stance maybe a hair close to his face. But all in all, it's not a terrible alignment, but you can see he's got a lot of space in between his hands and his thighs at setup here, right? And I also can't see his lead arm from this angle. And what that tells me is that his chest is a little bit open to his feet line, which means he's kind of preset to come over the top just from the setup here. That would be one of the first things we fix. Open up the stance a little bit, pull the hands a little bit closer, get a little closer to the ball, and then pull the trail shoulder back a little bit just to square all of our lines up. So as we get into the actual full swing here, this is going to be our original plane line that I'm drawing right now. This is kind of what we're going to base everything off of. You can see the first move off the ball is the hands get above this line and the club head gets way underneath it. Now, this is called the inside takeaway. You guys have probably heard of it. And you pair that up with this lack of hip rotation that he clearly is showing here. This is just a total arms dominated swing. This is total upper body here. There's no real connection between the hands and the chest and the hips. It's just all arms. And what that's going to do is it's going to put us in a position here at lead arm parallel where the shaft is pointing way outside the ball. Now, ideally, we want this pointing at the ball or in between the ball and the toes, but never exactly outside of it. So this is already a second major red flag. And because of that position, you're going to see the club head is going to want to set a little bit over the top of the original plane. And you can clearly see that as it sets over the top of the lead shoulder and kind of the momentum is going towards this player's head, where ideally the club would be setting more on plane, more towards the trail shoulder and kind of almost in a straight line with the lead arm there. But you can see that's wanting to set over the top of the plane. And that's once again going to cause a steep transition. So that's three pieces now that are kind of causing this player to come over the top. Then finally, if you combine those three pieces with what looks like from this angle to be a sort of spin out with the upper body and the lower body moving at the same rate, you can see there that the lead shoulder and the lead knee are kind of turning at the same exact rate. Ideally, we'd have some separation there where that lead knee would go first while the chest stays a little bit close to the target. And I would have to confirm that with a face-on video just to be sure. But from this angle, since it looks like we're spinning out, you combine those three kind of steepening mechanics from your backswing in with the spin out, and you're absolutely going to be over the top of this original plane and you're going to struggle with a lot of consistency. So the first thing we need to do is get these hands working underneath the plane while the club head works over the top of it instead, right? Right now we're doing the opposite. That head's getting underneath, the hands are going over the top. So we kind of need to reverse that. And a great drill for that is to get an alignment rod and hold it alongside your club. Now at setup, it's going to be resting kind of over the top of your lead hip. And the idea behind this drill is that you keep this alignment rod on or touching your body all the way until it slides down your thigh and off the bottom of your knee. Now, this player, obviously, if he were to do this drill right now at this swing, almost immediately he would lose contact between the alignment rod and his body. So, and then it would get pointing straight down the range very quickly. And that's exactly what we're trying to avoid. So this drill would really get him in a much better spot right off the rip with this takeaway. And then to get him a little bit more vertical halfway back, ideally, I'd like to use the forearms to do this, not necessarily the wrist or anything like that. We want the forearms to start to rotate in the right direction. So I want him to imagine that he's holding a steering wheel, right? If you turn the steering wheel to the right, your forearms are going to turn to the right. And that effectively, if you apply that to your golf swing, is going to put you in this super flat position halfway back. Now, if we act like we're turning the steering wheel towards the left side instead, this is going to get this shaft a little bit steeper halfway back, which is more what we're looking for. And if you combine that with the better takeaway, which will also introduce a little bit more lower body rotation if he does this correctly, this should allow the club to set more on plane, more towards that trail shoulder instead of setting above it. So if he can combine these drills and feels, he should be on a much better track. So, and once again, I do these free swing reviews off of my Instagram. If you want to have a chance to get your swing reviewed, go to my most recent Instagram post and comment review. You can find my link to my website and my Instagram in my bio.